you doing?
What's going on over here?
We're having a little party, you know, the Delphi.
Well, you invited me. How you doing? How's everything?
All right, how's Cecil?
Doing fine.
When's he coming home?
2 years from now. Oh, he'll probably be in sometime, before then.
He's in Norway,
Got
right?
2 years there in Norway. Man, that was a hell of a trip, you know that?
I know.
Yes, indeed. And so, Delphi's are my men, boys and men. Because, I've been knowing them ever since y'all started. Yes, indeed. And so, this is a finale, right?
No, this is the beginning.
Oh, look at the fire. Oh, look at the fire. Going to the party, Delphi.
More than 30 years ago, in the basement of a house in Louisville, Kentucky, 5 boys got together and formed the nucleus of what is now the 35-member JBB Delphi fraternity. Since that inauspicious beginning, they have formed an incredible bond of love and friendship and support that has spanned the globe. There's probably no group of black men in America who better know who they are and what they're about than the Delphi. We joined them at a reunion in Louisville.
What made the Delphi unique to me was the fact that we were all young black men on our way somewhere.
We used to really have a lot of fun when we were kids growing up in high school. There was no kids any crazier and wilder than we were. We did a lot of crazy things.
Every night in the summer, man. In those days, it was a case of beer. We sat there on the flood wall, tell lies, have a hell of a good time.
And swat flies.
Yeah, and swat flies. Thanks. You tied it up neat.
A meeting place for club meetings. On Sundays, we would meet up on the flood wall and fellowship, sing songs, make plans, have dreams, discuss dreams, the feasibility of each other's dreams, and you were sure to run into people who were to shoot holes in your dream at the same time, so that they could think about what you were thinking about and tell you the feasibility of it, which was a great help for a lot of people.
Must be a Delphi if you want to get to heaven when you die.
I think the thing that ties us together is the friendships you make as children. There are no inhibitions, there are no barriers set up to a relationship. So you're completely open. And I think the reason we've continued to exist is because we have never had those kind of differences between ourselves. We have always accepted each other for who we are.
Many of the members went to Mayo High School, first years of integration. There we were strong individuals, and we were also cohesive as a group. Some of us went to the same school where we knew each other, some of us went to the same church, some of us attended the same parties, some of us lived in the same geographic area or region of the city.
And it is true that basically this area that we're in now is predominantly white. So you say some of the circumstance we went through, we went from a transitional stage of white neighborhood turning into black. We also went through, as Carson was saying, integration in the schools. We also went through the Vietnam area later on. All these things together kind of made this group, and kind of some of them formulated, some of them solidified it, but it made the group as to what it is.
The men of Delphi live all over the country and abroad. But when they come home, they always get together and talk about the good old days.
Come out, look out, and there he is going in that window right over there. He must have been trying to slip in.
Tell me about it.
Tell you about it?
Here's Bob. He was in on it.
He don't remember it, Bob. I'm going to tell him about it, and you can confirm it.
You mean the night we had to come and save him?
2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wesley and I have had a relationship that transcends the club. We've known each other for a long time. Wesley and I, many of the memories that I have are fights between Wesley and me.
Physically.
Right. Physical fights, where it may start out with one of us hitting the other in the chest to see who could take the most punishment. And the next thing you know, we were rolling around on the floor, on the ground, punching each other as if we'd...
But the real problem was they were riding with me all the time. See, I picked them up,
from high school to college. And so what happens is that you know that they're going to fight, Pete. But Pete, what I want to do is Wes is out to lunch, man. We all know that, you know?
One of the most exciting things that I can recall is one of the Delphi social functions that we gave one year. It was a theme party. It was called the Delphi Go Playboy. So we sent off for this party kit, and it came back, and it was not for the men at all, it was for the women. It was bunny outfits with little white cottontails and so forth.
We got this unique idea. I mean, well, it wasn't unique. It went along with the program. We got this brain thrust to go out and get bunnies. And the strangest thing happened. Our girlfriends started fighting to be bunnies.
In fact, I became very angry along with another group of girls because we were not asked to be bunnies, and we wondered why.
You know, we said, well, no, you're going to be with us, so, there's no reason for you to be a bunny.
I thought it would be fun. And he informed me that it would not. He did not want his best girl being a bunny. So they asked the other young ladies that wanted to be bunnies to be bunnies.
But to make a long story short, it came off very well. It was unique. It was an overwhelming success.
The point is that, you know, you make your resources to take care of that you love. And when you get to this point, it's really funny, but this is one of the greatest things that happens is when we can just get together collectively, and if we could just spend $50, we could just have one hell of a time.
The Delphi experienced an emotional awakening on Father's Day of 1985 with the sudden death of Aaron Brown, one of the most popular members.
Aaron was a straight-ahead person. I don't care whether he was drinking, driving, joking, or whatever. He was an all-consumer. And he was a man in a quiet sort of way, which gained respect.
He was an administrator, a leader. He had compassion with the group. Just all the things that helped us make the Delphi. And plus the fact that we had this business relationship and just added to it, really.
You'd have to really know Aaron and what he meant, not only to... I felt blessed that he chose me to hang out with, because everybody loved this guy. Everybody in town.
I know that I would never have gone to graduate school if it wasn't for Manna, Aaron Brown.
One of the biggest reasons I'm a Delphi is because of Aaron.
I don't know how it's gonna stick, but Brown was the dude that gave me my nickname, Peanuts. And it has stuck for 20-some-odd years.
His quiet manner was part of the glue and spirit that helped to bond this club together.
We were careful not to use the word love because that sounded like a sissy. But when Aaron died, I think we all grew up a little bit because we were honestly able to look around and say, we lost somebody we loved.
The loss of Aaron made the Delphi understand their real value to each other. In a moment, we'll be back with the Delphi to see how they turned their lifelong friendships into a network of nurturing and support that is seldom seen in America. Stay with us.
Look at the fire, oh, look at the fire.
Now in their 40s, the Delphi have many accomplishments, both personally and professionally. They represent a broad spectrum of success. Kenneth Kennedy, plant manager for the Monsanto Chemical Company in St. Louis, explains.
In our early days, most of us really wanted to concentrate on getting good grades, doing the right thing in school, and working hard. Just being a good citizen, but also enjoying life. And now success as a Delphi primarily means really making it.
A lot of us are aggressive in nature. We are competitive. We want to be successful.
And that's one thing about us. We all are strong individuals as individuals. There's not a weak member of the club.
We got the money, money, we got the money, money, we got the money, so they say.
There are Delphi lawyers, educators, administrators, government officials, airline pilots, law enforcement officers, corporate executives, and entrepreneurs.
We got the money, money, we got the money, money, we got the money, so they say.
Within the Delphi organization, you can point to almost any career orientation, and we've got it. And the guys are doing extremely well. I'm proud of them.
Most of the Delphi are married with families. Many have been with their wives since high school.
I tell you what, I had fun in Chicago. Without you, buddy.
Oh, thanks, friend.
But you know why?
Huh.
Because you would not have gone to the Art Institute with me.
You're right.
You would not have gone to the aquarium with
You're right.
me.
I would have been at the baseball game.
You'd been at the ball game. You wouldn't have stayed all day in Marshall Fields with
You're right.
me.
You're absolutely right.
So I had a ball by myself.
Okay.
The Delphi wives are an integral part of the group. They understand these men and admire the closeness which is so apparent when they are together.
The women don't have a club, but I think the women have fun together. And whenever we're at parties, we break up into groups within the group. And you'll see some friends, Brenda, for instance. I've known Brenda all my life.
I'm Brenda White. I'm married to Gerald. And I feel basically the same. That's Baby Bond. That's his nickname to the guys. He's Gerald to me.
I'm Maxie Johnson, and I'm married to Tommy. Everybody calls him Tommy. He's Chalmers, but I'm Tommy to everybody else.
I am Marcella, and I'm married to Louis. Mud. Sometimes I wonder. Louis and I first met in high school. We are high school sweethearts.
My name is Shirley Eves. I'm married to Montez. I think when I first met the Delphis, I was really impressed because I had come from a small town, and to see these young men so involved in doing things, unique things at such an early age, let me know right then that these young men were about things and would be about things someday.
We've been together a long time, and I kind of love all the guys. I feel that the camaraderie that they have is something to be known, not in this community today.
We love the guys, and it's wonderful that the girls can talk and get to know each other. The kids are now growing up. They are doing the same kinds of things. They know each other. They're having a good time, enjoying themselves, and I think it's the Delphi legacy.
Communication between the Delphi is better now than ever before. They have grown up from a group of little boys whose main goal was to party, to become a network of successful, confident, responsible men.
It's a certain amount of strength that you get from being back with the group. A lot of us have gone out and tried different endeavors in different cities and so forth, but it's still a certain strength you get back.
I've never really wanted to be a part of any other fraternal organization because that bond could never be as strong as it was back then.
I think the biggest asset that this organization has given to each of its members is our quest for education. You know, I don't think 75% of us were even thinking about going to college. We were just having too good a time. But then one of us was going, then two of us was going, then three of us were going, and finally all of us went to college. And then the next thing you know, this thirst for education became kind of contagious.
The thing that impresses me most about the Delphi is the communication and the fellowship that I've had over the last 20 years in terms of knowing where the various brothers were living, how they were doing, who needed help, being able to extend a hand when I could.
Sometimes you get out of control. You know, I've been out of control, my brothers have been out of control. We've called on each other to travel cross country to help one another stabilize.
We found ourselves in situations where we were out there alone, where no one knew us, where we didn't have that support group, no real friends to depend on. Another thing that stands out in my mind is when I suffered marital problems, and they supported me. And I'll never forget that as long as I live. That was a very traumatic experience in my life, and I got through that mainly because of the support that I got from, and the love that I got from the friends that are around me right now. They're steady, dependable,
And when you needed them, they were always there.
Most of us have learned and developed and dreamed some things because of our association with other members of the group.
You can jab and you can talk and you can carry on with it, but they know you. You know, from 13 years old, what can you have from somebody?
Look at the fire.
They always called on each other and they cared about each other. Things like that are so important in life. And I've seen with just about all of them that they have matured very gracefully and that they are about something, that they have made their presence felt in Louisville. And that's important to the black community, and that we are better off for having them.
Oh, look at the fire. Oh, look at the fire.